I've never seen a small town with so much traffic.
Yeah, that's what the guy was saying. He says,
I mean, this is a dead end. You can't go any farther north, so everybody who's here is either from here or doing business here. And it would be difficult to get across the street at times if you're trying to walk across the street. It's a tiny little place. What the heck? Well, we stopped here on our way to Gander to do a hike. This trail isn't marked on the map or have any signage at it, but the All Trails app shows that it exists, and it's not very long. Just runs up the river here about less than a kilometer, and there's supposed to be a nice falls up here. I'll put the name of the falls. I think it's Thunder Falls or Thunder River Falls or something like that. I'll put the name on the screen here. Tara doesn't mind. Lovely walk for her. And we now have arrived at the North Atlantic Aviation Museum in Gander. All Canadians are justifiably proud of the 11,000 people of Gander, who in 2001 scrambled to feed and house 7,000 people from 38 aircraft who were forced to land at Gander during 9/11. While Halifax, St. John's, Moncton, CFB Goose Bay, and Stephenville also handled many flights on the East Coast, and Vancouver landed 34 flights and 8,500 trans-Pacific travelers, it is tiny Gander which captured the hearts of the world for showing what it means to be Canadian. This has been captured in the story Come From Away.
I'm Irene Sankoff, and I'm the co-author of Come From Away.
And I'm David Hine, and I'm the other co-author and her husband. Come From Away tells the story of when 38 planes and thousands of passengers were diverted to the tiny community of Gander, Newfoundland and the surrounding towns. The people were welcomed off the planes by the people here, and they gave them everything they possibly could.
The generosity in this story that happens in Newfoundland really rhymes with what it was like to be in New York on 9/12 and following. I think New Yorkers were their best self at that moment.
There were almost 7,000 people who landed here, and there was almost 9,000 people in town at the time, so we wanted to tell 16,000 stories in a 100-minute musical with 12 actors.
You just can't tell the story without music.
There's very few moments where there's not music.
I have been struck by how much the audience wants to tell their story after the show. You walk through the lobby and everybody comes up and wants to talk about the show and what they were doing that day.
It's been truly humbling to know that we've touched people's lives with this story, because I know we were incredibly touched.
You found your heart, but left a part of you behind.
They even allow dogs in here. All right.
Friends have promised to return there on vacation.
Between tight security and customs checks, thousands of the passengers would be stranded on the tarmac for more than 30 hours, waiting and worrying.
Being on that plane, we hadn't seen anything, and we couldn't get through to anyone. So we're not sure where we're going to go or how long we're going to be here for quite a while.
It involves thousands of airline passengers whose planes were rerouted that terrible day to a town many of them couldn't even find on a map, Gander, Newfoundland. And although they felt frustrated at being stranded so far from home at such a time, Jay Shadler says they found that in a faraway place, there were angels of hope.
But now, as these exclusive radar images show, everyone's lives took an abrupt right turn. One diverted flight would be unusual. Suddenly there were
You ever wonder what the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine using the Spitfire looked like? There we go. Yeah, Tara's taken the opportunity to get a little cool underneath the Lockheed Hudson light bomber. It's a small museum, but very nice. And the PBY Catalina Canso water bomber. And the Voodoo Interceptor. And a Beach 18S Expeditor.